Wheel brushes. A lot of people tell me they hate cleaning their wheels. It takes too long, it's too hard to get in the little areas. They sit there with their fingers, then their fingers are sore. The reason it's taking them so long, the reason they're doing a half-pie job and they're missing bits, is that they don't have a range of brushes. No one of these brushes is going to get everywhere on a wheel because you've got a lot of different areas in a wheel. You've got in the barrel, you need something like this that'll, get through real small tight gaps and reach right into the back of the wheel to really clean and scrub it. That's not going to be very effective at cleaning around a wheel nut though. Something like this is perfect for getting in around the wheel nuts efficiently and in those little small corners that are hard to get. If you try and clean a whole wheel with this, well, you're going to be there forever. Something like this is really great, nice, soft and smooth for cleaning the face of the wheel fast. You can do it with that, but it'll take too long. Doing it with this will be quicker, then you get the gaps and the bits you can't get with something like that. But this is so soft, it's not going to scratch the face of your wheel, which is great, but then it's not going to have enough grunt to really clean the rubber itself of the tyre. For something like that, you want a more aggressive brush like this if it's a big wheel, or if you've got a low profile tyre like I have, you want something not too big so you can really get in and scrub it there, which is why I really like this one here. So running through the different types here of what you can use, let's start first with the wheelbarrow brushes and I'll go through. So this is a good option for 90% of the people. It's soft, it's got enough grab to clean a lot of things. If your wheels are really, really bad, this mightn't have enough grunt, but it'll clean well in that sweet spot between cleaning and not scratching your wheels. You do need to watch with any of these brushes that you don't clap that off. If you snag that on a caliper or something and pop it off, there's metal underneath and you don't want to scratch your wheels. So just be careful of that. That's same with a lot of these brushes. This is good if you've got tight gaps because it'll go right down as thin as that wire. So this is one of our top selling wheel brushes and one that I use at home myself. This is the more aggressive alternative to that. We sell a lot of these to people that are like professional detailers that are doing, dirty stuff. Cars that have been let go, agricultural gear, things like this. So it is, and you can hear, more aggressive. Gets right down too, so you can get in the gaps. But this will clean a lot faster than this. But it's going to have the risk of scratching there. So it's that trade-off with what you want. If you're a professional detailer, you want to have options. But this is a really great brush there. It's just got a little more scratch risk than the softer one there. The wheel woolies and the rim packers are both using sort of wools or synthetic wools to clean and scrub the vehicle. Both of these come in packs of 3. The Chemical Guys rim packer has got like quite a cool little golf handle there with the shaft there, and these are then, I think they're glued on, I'd have to check. These are great if you've got big gaps between your wheels. They're quite big brushes. If you've got tight gaps between your wheels, these may not fit, so just bear that in mind. The wheel woolies come with a tiny little one here, which is really quite handy if you've got wheels like mine with really small gaps. These are really good. Now, the wheel woolies are more expensive, but there's a reason for that. They've got wool, and this is I think it's a fiberglass shaft, and these are actually bonded and fused. The wool's bonded and fused to the shaft. So these last a long time. You'll find with some of the other ones, there's a lot of copycat ones online, but they're all sort of made somewhere else. These are made in America, and they are bonded and fused into that fiberglass there so that it lasts and it doesn't go away. With some of the other ones, the glues will soften and then they'll come away from it at the time. But yeah, these are really good brushes. You get 3 in a pack, same with the rim packer. So you've got to remember, if you look at the price, well, you're getting 3 brushes. So these are ones I use myself and really like. So that covers your barrels. For the face of the wheel and the tyre, you've got options here. So this is the hardest. So if you've got wheels like for the rubber, that's going to scrub really well, clean really fast, and you're not going to have issues of knocking the rim or the paint of your vehicle or accidentally getting on it. You don't want to use a stiff brush on the face of your wheel because it will scratch. But on the rubber itself, you really want something more aggressive so you can properly clean it. So that would be my go-to, unless you have a bigger wheel. So this is not as aggressive as that, but quite a lot bigger and wider. And this, you can hear, is a little bit softer again, but these are very, very similar. So these are good brushes if you've got a big wide rim for cleaning the tyre, or if you're cleaning floor mats. You can also use these on carpet, but this one here is going to be more aggressive and better if you've got low profile tyres. We put this into our white wall cleaning kit as well, because it's very good for cleaning white wall tyres. In terms of the face of the wheel itself, not the rubber, these softer ones here, so this is, maybe you can hear, this is still quite firm, this is softer still, and this is really soft. So this is the one I use on my face of my wheel, but all of these will do the job well. It is a smaller brush, so if you've got a really big face, like on a truck rim, that will get the job done quicker. But for mine, actually, this is a nice size. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right for my wheel. Again, these are only good really for the face of the wheel. You can get a little bit in the gaps, but you really want to use a barrel wheel for that, or something like that for around the wheel nuts and the corners and things. It just takes too much time if you're mucking around with this. You'll be there all day. But fast for the face of the wheel. You can use the soft ones on rubber as well if you're trying to clean the rubber on your tyre, but it will take longer and it won't clean as well as it will with a stiff brush. Brushes like these, this is a stiff one, and this is the boar hair brush, are really good for around the wheel nuts and those little corners and edges where it's hard to get. If you're sitting in there with your little finger trying to get things and reaching in, that one of these will save your finger, especially in winter, and just save your time too and do a better job. So on most, I would recommend the boar hair brush. It's that sweet spot of softness and being aggressive enough to clean. We have softer versions of this that are synthetic and really soft. If you've got really sensitive black soft painted metal wheels, or this for a more aggressive clean. And being a firmer brush too, this is quite tight, so it's easy to control where you are. So this is good if you're working on a tight area next to trim, for example, as well. We also have this, which is just a handy for all sorts, little double-ended toothbrush that's really tiny. So depending on your wheels, that might save you a bit of time as well. I missed this for the barrel. This is a really soft brush. It's fur and it's really soft. So if you've got soft black painted wheels that are shiny and soft, the paint's really soft, this is really good for cleaning in the gaps around there and into the barrel. It has to be glued on because of the material, so if you leave this soaking in a bucket, it will in time give way. So just something to be conscious of there. This is not a forever brush, but it is a really good brush there. That's another point. All these brushes will wear over time. We have detailers that come in with these all the time and they've worn them right down. As you go, all the brushes will wear. Some of these ones will spread out just from wear and using them all the time. So after a period of time, and that depends on your use, it's worth replacing your brushes. If you're still using the same wheel brush that you were using 20 years ago, you probably will benefit from getting some new brushes, and you'll be quite amazed how much faster you can clean. In terms of cloths and that, if you're using cloths for it, I tend to find I can get most areas with brushes these days on the wheels, but colour coding is a good idea. So if you're doing anything around your wheels, try and stick with either a darker colour, like a black or a grey. It doesn't show up and look as manky if you've got grease and dirt and things like that on it, but also it's just a way to tell them apart. There's nothing worse than trying to wipe a mark off your window or something like that, grabbing what you think is a clean cloth and then finding you've got residue, tire shine or something on it. So colour coding, the cloths are all the same, it's just the colours that change between each range. So they're just there to help you tell them apart. So for me, what I use, I have this. This one I missed. This is the same, just with a longer, so you can get right in under the wheel arches. But I use this. I use this. I use these. I use that for the wheels. And what have I got here? Yeah, that's and the bore hair brush I'll use for around the wheel nuts and that. These are my staples. I mean, I have all these at home, but this is what I use on my wheels, and I keep them in a bucket. So I have a dedicated wheel bucket. I've just upgraded to the new ultra clear or totally transparent bucket, I should say. And I have a dirt trap, a black one in the bottom, so that I can tell that that's my wheel bucket, and I just leave all my brushes in there. I clean the wheels first. I have everything all together, and then when I'm done, I tip that water out, and then I work on the rest of the car. And the reason I do that is I don't want to get brake dust or dirt onto the clean paint if you do the wheels last. And that's how I do it. You'll hear me talk in other videos about how great the mitt slides are. You don't need a mitt slide for your dedicated wheel bucket though, because you're not using a wash mitt normally. You're using brushes, so there's nothing really of benefit there. Potentially it could, I suppose, but I just have a black dirt trap in the bottom of mine, and I like this new totally clear one because I can see everything, and you'll see the stuff in the bottom when you're doing your wheels. It's pretty gnarly. So the same principles of that and trapping that stuff in the bottom applied to a normal car wash. It's just a little more dramatic on your wheels. So I hope that helps. We've got another video, if you haven't seen it already, on wheel cleaners, and I'm going to do another one shortly on trim and tire shine and things like that. So hopefully these help. If you have any questions, or if we haven't covered anything, let us know in the comments or pop us a message to team@lovecars.co.nz. Hey, thanks for your interest, and I hope this helps.